How's it going, good people of YouTube? Welcome to another video. This one, or another concept series video. This one is Buccaneer, an MMO concept. So Buccaneer, the game is Buccaneer through hell and high water. Now, Buccaneer is a fantastical 17th through 18th century inspired Caribbean-like world filled with pirate havens, cursed islands, demonic entities, and mystical seas. The world blends gritty historical pirate aesthetics with supernatural horror and high-stakes adventure. This is another MMO concept, the third one I've done, I'm pretty sure. Why not? It's an MMO concept. Yeah, so the genre, an action MMORPG with cooperative and competitive elements. Yeah, pretty cool. The core theme: freedom, betrayal, and survival on the high seas, where players forge their legend as buccaneers, navigating treacherous waters, rival crews, and otherworldly threats. It's a pretty cool setting. I like it. I'm a fan. Alrighty, so let's get into the core features, the meat and potatoes of this whole concept. The pie, the hot pie, stuff like that. So first up, we have the open world high seas. So it would feature a dynamic world map. It would be a vast procedurally generated ocean with hundreds of islands, ports, and hidden coves. Players can sail freely, encountering random events like storms, sea monsters, or rival ships. Some of the factions and the ports. Players can align with factions such as the Pirate Brotherhoods, the Colonial Navies, or the Mysterious Cults. They control key ports, and ports serve as hubs for trading, crafting, questing, but they can change hands through player-driven sieges. It's a pretty cool concept. I like it. Weather and navigation. Realistic sailing mechanics affected by wind, tides, and storms. Players must master navigation or risk shipwrecks. With supernatural storms tied to demonic forces adding unpredictability. It's pretty cool. So you can be out and about, and all of a sudden, this storm hits, and it can be a demonic force. I don't exactly know how like a demonic force like storm would work. Maybe like when it hits, there's like demons that like try to board your ship, maybe. I don't know. Pretty cool. I like it. So next up we have character creation and progression. So you have customizable buccaneers, which are players create their pirate with deep customization inspired by the TTRPG, choosing backgrounds such as disgraced, naval officer, voodoo priestess, runaway slave, or cursed sailor. That unlock unique abilities and storylines. It's pretty cool. It can unlock its own little storyline. Cool. I like it. So the skill trees. So progression is split into 3 pillars: seafaring, which is navigation, cannonry, ship repair, and boarding tactics. And then you have combat, which would be swordplay, firearms, and supernatural abilities such as curses and spirit summoning. Then you have cunning, which is your diplomacy, thievery, and leadership to sway NPCs or other players. Pretty cool. Next up, we have supernatural pacts. So players can make deals with demonic entities or ancient sea gods, gaining powerful abilities at the cost of their own sanity, morality, or eventual doom, reflecting the TTRPG's hell theme. So you can, yeah, you can make a deal with demonic entity or an ancient sea god, which will give you either powerful abilities, or it could also maybe gaining powerful abilities, but it could also potentially grant you maybe more gold, or like more like rum, or more steel or wood or stuff like that. Or it can give you like a boot, maybe not grant you more, but it can give you a boost in like it can give you a boost in looting. Like it can give you looting boosts, so you'll get more. However, it comes with a cost, basically. Next up, we have ship customization and crew management. So we have ship building. So players design and upgrade their ships, choosing from sloops, brigs, or massive galleons. Customization includes cannons, sails, figureheads, and mystical artifacts that grant bonuses. So, which would mean like a cursed figurehead that summons fog, stuff like that. Crew dynamics. So you can recruit and manage NPC crew members with unique skills and personalities. Players can also hire other players as crew, fostering cooperative play. Crew morale affects performance, and mutinies are a risk if mismanaged. So you can get your own crew can mutiny against you if your ship is mismanaged. Next up, we have ship-to-ship combat. So, real-time naval battles with tactical depth, targeting enemy sails, hulls, or crew boarding action. Boarding actions shift to melee combat, blending TTRPG-inspired dice roll mechanics with action-oriented controls. So basically, I'm imagining this as being similar to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where you do your ship combat, because obviously that's the best formula to follow. I mean, they really got it right with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That would be the best formula to follow for ship-to-ship combat. Yeah. You could, depending on what server you're in, so you could be like in a PvP server. If you're in a PvP server, there's going to be a lot of player versus player ship-to-ship combat. But if you're PvE, you're not really going to be fighting people. That's not really a thing. You'll be fighting NPCs, you'll be fighting bosses, but you won't be fighting other players unless it's like a sanctioned duel, a sanctioned one-on-one combat. Next up, we have story and quests. So you have narrative-driven campaigns, which would be there would be a central storyline inspired by the TTRPG, involving a demonic force rising from the depths. Rising from the depths. Threatening all factions, players uncover ancient relics, battle cultists, and decide whether to save or doom the world. Pretty cool. So there's dynamic quests, so there's procedural quests tied to the world's factions and supernatural elements, such as hunting a ghostly ship, raiding a colonial fortress, or exploring a cursed island. Choices impact faction standings and world events. Next up, we have player-driven stories. So players can create their own legends through actions like founding pirate havens, betraying allies, or sacrificing crew to demonic entities, with consequences that ripple across the server. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I imagine this as being something similar to like the Ghost of Ghost of Tsushima legend mechanic, where like as you play the game, your legend grows, and it can also be like a karma system as well. So like, depending on like what choices you make, you can either be like, you know, an honorable seafaring, person, or you're like a backstabbing, a pirate captain who's like who's feared, similar to like Blackbeard and stuff like that. Next up, we have multiplayer and social features. So you have crews and alliances. Players form crews, which would be small groups, or alliances, large guilds, to tackle massive raids, such as battling a kraken or storming a fortified port. Crews can compete for territory or infamy on leaderboards. Pretty cool. Next up, we have PvP and PvE. So you have seamless integration of PvP, which would be ship battles, duels, or port sieges. And then you have PvE, which would be battling sea monsters, demonic hordes, or environmental hazards. Players can toggle PvP to focus on cooperative play if preferred. Yeah, pretty cool. Next up, we have tavern hubs. Social spaces where players can gamble, trade rumors, or recruit for quests. Minigames like dice or card games add downtime activities, which are inspired by TTRPG roleplay. Alrighty, next up we have, this is the cool one. Next up we have the supernatural elements. So first up, we have cursed islands. Explore haunted islands with puzzles, traps, and demonic creatures. These areas require teamwork and risk permanent character debuffs, such as a curse that drains health unless lifted. Stuff like that. Next up, we have mystical artifacts. So you can collect relics with unique powers, such as a compass that points to hidden treasure, or a mirror that reveals ghostly visions. Artifacts often come with drawbacks, tying into the TTRPG's risk-reward mechanics. Next up, we have world events. Server-wide events like a demon fleet invasion or a tidal wave caused by an angered sea god would require players to unite or compete for survival and rewards. Next up, we have endgame and replayability. So you have legendary status, so players can ascend to the proverbial pirate lord status by completing epic quests, gaining unique titles, shifts, or abilities. However, becoming a legend affects powerful enemies, including other players. It's a pirate lord or pirate king, stuff like that. Or it could also, instead of being pirate lord, it could be Navy admiral, stuff like that. Next up, we have raids and dungeons. So you have high-level content, includes multi-stage raids against supernatural threats, such as a demon-possessed fortress or an underwater city guarded by a leviathan. Pretty cool. New Game Plus. After completing the main storyline, players can start a new character with inherited bonuses, facing a harder world state influenced by their previous actions. Pretty cool. So the gameplay loop. So like exploration, sail the seas, discover islands, and uncover quests or treasures. Combat, engage in naval battles, boarding actions, or land-based skirmishes against NPCs or players. Progression, upgrade your ship, crew, and characters through loot, crafting, and experience. Story and choices, pursue personal or server-wide narratives, making decisions that shape your legacy and the world. Social interaction, form crews, trade or compete in taverns, battles, or faction wars. Some of the technical and visual style. So graphics would be a stylized, semi-realistic art style that blends vibrant Caribbean colors with dark, gothic, supernatural elements. Think Sea of Thieves meets Bloodborne, basically. Soundtrack, a mix of rousing sea shanties, orchestral scores, and eerie ambient tracks for cursed areas. Platforms, PC, consoles, with cross-play support to maximize the player base. Monetization, buy-to-play, with optional cosmetic microtransactions, which would be things like ship skins, outfits, zero pay-to-win elements. I will say this again and again and again. Fuck pay to win. Absolutely do not like it. Fuck pay to win. Respecting the TTRPG's focus on player agency. And yeah, some of the unique selling points. The TTRPG roots, it retains the narrative depth, moral ambiguity, and a character-driven storytelling of Buccaneer through hell and high water, adapting for a broader audience. Another selling point, supernatural twist. The blend of historical piracy with demonic and mystical elements sets it apart from other pirate MMOs. Well, there's only one, and that's really Sea of Thieves. That's the only one that this would be competing against. Another selling point is player freedom. It's a sandbox world where players can choose to be heroic privateers, ruthless pirates, or cursed wanderers, with actions shaping the server's history. Another selling point, cooperative and competitive balance, appeals to both solo explorers and large crews with seamless PvP to PvE integration. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Some of the challenges of this, because I wanna also emphasize that there are challenges and solutions to those challenges. So balancing the TTRPG complexity, you would do this by simplify TTRPG mechanics, so things like dice rolls, into intuitive action controls with retaining strategic depth through skill trees and crew management. Server stability would be another challenge. Use instanced areas for high population events, e.g. like raids, to prevent lag with a robust server infrastructure to support the open world. Player retention, so there would be regular content updates, seasonal events, and player-driven world changes to keep the game fresh, inspired by the TTRPG campaign longevity. And yeah, that's it. That's the MMO. Let me know down in the comments if you were gonna do a Buccaneer through hell and high water MMO, what would you do? Would you follow something similar to this formula, or would you create your own formula? Let me know down in the comments, and make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.